Good morning, everyone. So many people came out this past Shabbat to enjoy the beautiful tent that we're actually adding an extension to make the tent even bigger, to accommodate more people on this Shabbat. This Shabbat we're going to read the Torah portion of Kedoshim, which has the most important commandment in the whole Torah. Love your neighbor as yourself. V'ahavta l'reacha kamocha. And interestingly, we read this section in the middle of the days of the Omer. Now, the days of the Omer are the countdown to Shavuos. But in addition to the countdown of Shavuos, they're sad days. There are no weddings allowed. There are no haircuts allowed. No joy, at least until Lag BaOmer. Why? Because our rabbis tell us in the Talmud that the students of Rabbi Akiva died during this period, and we mourn their passing. Why did they die? Says the Talmud, Mipnei shelo nahagu kavod zeh lazeh, because they didn't show each other proper respect and honor. And the Talmud says they died in the days between Passover and Shavuot. And the question is, why does the Talmud point out that they died from Passover to Shavuos? And one of the answers beautifully given is that what happened on Passover? God redeemed us from Egypt, and He brought us to Mount Sinai. Why did we have to wait 49 days? Because we had sunk to the 49 levels of impurity. We were on the lowest rung, but God saw our potential, took us out of Egypt and said, in 49 days you will be ready to receive the Torah. God didn't look at us at the level we were at, but He saw how high we can climb. And therefore the mistake of the students of Rabbi Akiva is emphasized during these days, because of God saw our greatness, our inner goodness and beauty, even though it wasn't outwardly apparent, believed in us, had faith in us, and brought us out of Egypt and made us His nation. How much more so must we look at our fellow man and see them not for what they are, but what they're capable of becoming. And therefore we should show honor and respect to every person, because every person has inner goodness, beauty, greatness, and therefore we have to do what God did for us. See us at our highest potential. The most famous painting in the world is the Mona Lisa. 80% of the tourists that come to the Louvre in Paris come just to see the Mona Lisa. But how did the Mona Lisa become the most famous painting in the world? Is it really the most beautiful painting in the world? And the answer is that in 1911, a caretaker at the Louvre stole the painting. And newspapers for 2 years wrote about it, describing its extraordinary beauty. And people came to the Louvre just to look at the empty hooks where the Mona Lisa once sat on the wall. Well, 2 years later, in 1913, they found the Mona Lisa. They arrested the person who stole it, and they returned the Mona Lisa to the Louvre. And after that, people just kept on coming to see this famous piece of artwork. And the lesson is that sometimes when something is absent, something is missing, but we persist in discovering its beauty and finding it and revealing it, that's when we appreciate the masterpiece even more after it was found and discovered. God saw the masterpiece in the Jewish people. He knew we would be the nation we are and remain loyal to Him and His Torah until this very day. But it's only because He searched for us and found us in Egypt and brought us out and brought us to Mount Sinai. And that's why during these days we learn the lesson of loving your neighbor as yourself and never disrespecting another human being. Because even if you see empty hooks, you don't see any beauty, you don't see the masterpiece, know that if you search, you will uncover and discover it. Have a wonderful day.